Okay. Is it on? Okay. Well, you heard his version of how he came to New Skin. Okay, before I told my story, I would like to share my dreams when I was young. So I had a dream. Did you have a dream when you were young? Yeah. Or even now, right? Okay, I had a dream. My dream was when I grew up, I don't have to work, but I have lots of money. And at that time, of course, I didn't know New Skin would come into my life. I had a dream because of my mother. My mom never works, but my father gave him lots of money. And at that time we had 2 domestic helpers, so basically she didn't even have to do housework. So when I grew up, the first thing is I have to be like my mother. What should I do? Ladies, honest, please. Work out looking for a rich man. Okay, very lucky. God sent me Joseph Cheung. Number one, he was an architect, so, and obviously he must have, good income. So I remember in 1982, it was me that proposed to him. Wow. Will you marry me? No, you were excited. I pretend to be excited, okay. Anyway, after we got married, I would realize that, so that was my mother's lifestyle. So I admired her doing facial, high tea, shopping, playing mahjong. But unfortunately, the living standard in Hong Kong is very high, and both of us has to work in order to support our living. And so we worked very hard, and after a while, I have forgotten my dreams. What happened to you? Because you have no time thinking about your dreams, your goals. And in 1987, we immigrated to Canada, and also we were very fortunate. We found very good jobs. We had very good income. And Joseph also very lucky, he got into his own profession as an architect. So Joseph went to a seminar. That part you already have heard from him. And I didn't go, and I was very lucky that I didn't go. Because if it was me that went to the seminar, because that Dr. Lang Chow, he was a meteorologist. So he studied weather, so data, accuracy, all the mathematics. I'm not good at mathematics. And Joseph told me, because he had to find faults about from the speaker, so he paid very close attention on the speakers. But he told me 80% of people fell asleep. Okay, if I was there, I must be the one that fell asleep. So he came back home very excited and started telling me that one day with New Skin, having a network, then he didn't have to do anything and money keeps going in. So I thought, hey, Joe, are you having a fever or something wrong with your job? Anyway, I thought he was just being impulsive. I didn't say anything. But then this following Saturday, he invited some friends to our house and showed the people how to use the products. So I was sitting in the corner, watching him, and until he taught people how to wash the face, man, maybe you're better than Joseph. Up and down, left and right to left. So just like rubbing the wall, sandpaper to the wall. I couldn't stand it, so I pushed him away, put on my sleeves and said, well, let me show you how to wash your face. So at that time, my hands were wet. When I touched the product called the cleansing lotion, and then I found a letter K, L, M, you know, the back of the labeling. It came off on my fingers. So I didn't try, I didn't like the packaging. I didn't have a good impression at all. So unlike with all these products that I've been using, all those brand names with all the C's, and with sand jar or golden lid, so it didn't impress me at all. So I didn't want to use it. Then I found on that day, those friends that tried the products, they were very happy, but we didn't sell any product at all because we never got involved in sales. So I told myself, hey, I better use it on myself. And because my skin was very sensitive, I didn't want to use it on myself. And then I was very smart. I invited Joseph's mother to my house and used a product called the facelift. Okay, at that time we only had 12 products. One of them was facelift because the person introduced this product to me told me that you only use on half face and you will see the difference. So after 30 minutes, we all saw the difference. The eye bag smaller, skin pores tighter, lines and wrinkles are lighter. So she was very happy. We were very happy too. We gave her remember, Joseph said that we received the products from my sister. And in fact, I put it under the sink and I pulled it out and said, Mom, that's for you. And then he brought it home. And a few days later, I called it up, Mom, do you know how to use the products? How's the products worked on you? And she said, very good, but I have no more. I said, what? You're supposed to finish these products in 3 months, you finish them in only 3 days? And she said, no, I've sold it. I said, what? How did you do that? Remember the half face? She showed it to her friends, and one of her buddies said, very good, whatever you have, just sell it to me. And she had this open for a few days, and she sold it to her friend at retail price. And I gave it to her free. And she didn't even know how to pronounce the name Nu Skin. All right, and not even have her own set of products sold, she also has 3 orders on hand. So it really clicked my mind, hey, these products really speak for itself. But still, my skin's very sensitive, I still don't want to try it, so I sent the cleansing lotion to my family doctor. His name is Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, can you check whether or not I can start using this product called Nu Skin? And then a few days later, he gave me such a reply, and he said, Janet, I've never seen a product that contains only the beneficial ingredients in a bottle. And because he also owns a pharmaceutical company, so he knows each ingredients, the costing of each ingredient very well. And he told me if this product has to go through the traditional way of marketing so that you and me can buy it in the department store, it will cost $300 US. I said, wow. So it explained those products, those brand names they've been using for 90% of the cost were put into advertising, packaging, spokesperson. So I got confidence, so I started using the products. I only treated myself as a user. I didn't want to do the business. So every time when Joseph talked about the business, then I would share the benefits of the process. So this is how I get started. So we started part-time. We say part-time, I would say the working hours for Nu Skin, it's more than our full-time jobs, working hours. So let's say 40 hours a week for our own full-time job, about 60 hours for Nu Skin. You know why? Because Canada, if I sit at the window and look outside from my house, I barely see one person pass by. Maybe one dog or 2 dogs. So it's so hard to find so hard to find people, right? So sometimes we have to drive, maybe same as Malaysia too, but Kuala Lumpur is already enough for you to do. In Vancouver, if I drive to another city, it will maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. And to attend a seminar, I remember we had one seminar in the early days. It was in Seattle. So I have to drive back and forth about 5 hours just to go for a meeting, for a seminar. Now, will you take that long to come over here? But you're here, give yourself the hands. Thank you very much. And even though we're part-time, we were very clear that in 3 to 5 years' time, we will be blue diamonds, because we heard from all those successful people, they said, you have to become a blue diamond so that you will earn that kind of income. And we were not very greedy. We wanted to make only 10,000 US dollars, and we will be very happy. Because Joseph as an architect, I worked at BC Tel. Altogether, both of our income at that time was $10,000. That would be enough for us. All right, so we worked very hard, and in 1991, around the month of May, Joseph came back very excited, and he told me he quit his profession as an architect because he told me he had enough experience, he wanted to do full-time. And then a few days later, he came back very excited again. Every time he came back very excited, I sweat. And this time he told me he sold my house. Because Hong Kong would be open in September 1991, and he needs some money to go back to Hong Kong and run the business. So I have to support I still have to run my family, so I kept my job. So in September 1991, Hong Kong finally opened, and in October, I received a check, and the previous amount in the check of in September was 1,000, but because of Hong Kong, it jumps from 1,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars. So I start to understand what many people, my uplines, people are talking about exponential power. I didn't realize until I received the check. So I was excited. I was in Vancouver. I called Joseph in Hong Kong, and Joe, you really have very good vision. Now, I want to become partner with you. So I put my name in the contract, in the agreement. So 2 months later, I quit my job, and then I flew back to Hong Kong and joined New Skin, working together with Joseph. In 1992, Taiwan opened, and in 1993, having left Canada for a couple of years, so we decided to go back for a break. So without doing anything, every day we just spend time yum cha with his parents, hiking in the park, and play mahjong with his mom and dad. And because for over 2 years, we were very committed to do New Skin. Because our goal was very clear, we have to be successful in 3 to 5 years. And my weakness is when I turn on the TV, I will not leave the TV. And happen pokat lah, American pokat, especially those Hong Kong episodes, right? So I remember when I started New Skin, I called up the cable TV. I said, I want to discontinue all the channels. At that time, I only pay about 40 Canadian dollars. I have 80 channels already. So once you turn it on, I will be in trouble. Okay, so I know my weak point. I called up the cable TV, okay, cut it off. And so after 2.5 years, I didn't really, I really want to enjoy something. And I remember I passed by the Blockbuster. I don't know if you have Blockbuster here before. It's all closed down because now you can go up to download the link, right? They rent out the videos. So we rented about 10 movies. We started watching them from 6 p.m. to the next day, 12 noon. So, of course, all the characters, contents, actors and actresses are all mixed up. But the feeling was good. Why? Because I don't have to worry watching so many movies, and then the next day I have to go to work, right? And so, okay, interesting thing is, I received a check. Okay, because Japan opened, my checks jumped from $5,000 US dollars to 25,000 US dollars. While we were enjoying our time with our parents, watching movies without doing new skin, and again, this was the second time I realized what it means by exponential power. But one thing is not complete. We were not blue diamonds. We were only diamond executive. Diamond executive, that means you have 8 executives directly introduced. So I need 4 more so that our goal was complete. So we flew back to Hong Kong, worked very hard again. A year later, in 1994, we became Blue Diamond, and the following year, we were recognized as $1 Million Circle member. We worked very, very hard. We worked very, very hard. There was no free lunch, okay? After working so hard for 4 years, we got what we want, so we decided to half retire. So, and we like traveling, so with the opportunity of new skin opening each new country, we will go there. And in fact, new skin is about enjoying your life, and then you are doing new skin. We eat, we karaoke, we meet people, we talk during high tea, we do some short meetings, taking photos, shaking hands, and that's it. And the money keeps going up and going up. So in 1995, we went to Europe. 96, we were in Korea. 97 in Thailand. 98 in Philippines. You know, Philippines is famous for what? Philippines meaning thousands of islands. And Joseph loves fishing. So every time when we land in Philippines, he would do a seminar on that night, and then the next day he would disappear. So I asked myself, hey, you're enjoying your hobby, and I love dancing. So I decided, hey, I got to do something for myself. I love dancing. So I declared to the new skin world that I'm not doing new skin anymore because I want to learn dancing. I want to do it full time. So I dance that's only learning. I dance 7 hours a day. All right, and then 6 months later, of course, I want to test my cheung, how well I've been doing. So I went for the competition, and my first competition, I already won 2 gold medals. Next time I can, have a dancing performance for a beginning, right? And then another interesting thing happened again. The manager of Hong Kong called Andrew Fan called me. Why you and Joseph, where are you? Do you know that in Philippines that your group has already captured 90% of the local sales volume? That's interesting. So I realized that the business is already growing automatically with or without us going there. It's not related to me, but of course the money is related to me. And they don't know me. They're just growing so fast. But in the year of 2000, Singapore opened. And I have a very good friend in Singapore, and in Vancouver, and she was a Singaporean, and she told me that she wanted to do new skin. But the only thing is, you have to stop dancing. I said, okay, I'll spend 1 year with you. Then I stopped dancing, and then I went to Singapore and worked very hard with her. And one thing is good about it is, when you have a network, you can leave this business anytime you like. You can go back to the business anytime you like, without starting from zero. That's the beauty of it. Okay? So, and then Malaysia opened. I spent back and forth in 1 year. And then in 2006, I decided to settle down. So I spend most of the time in Hong Kong, and I haven't been back to Malaysia for about 5 years. I'm glad I'm here again. Okay, I want to share some photos with you. First, she is my mother-in-law, Joseph's mother. She's 19 years old. Okay, look at her. This is type 5, you know. Every photo is type 5. How can I already explain what is type 5, right? She's very trendy. The sunglasses is Mayaki. And of course, it's me and Joseph spending all this money on her. Even though she has nothing to do, but she's very busy because every morning she wakes up, at least do 3 facial masks. Wow. And lots of vitamins, okay? And she has nine children. It's only Joseph and Philip, because it's the only 2 that are doing new skin. Spend a lot of quality time with her, not to mention the money we spent on her. So as children, it's not just something for yourself, it's something for your family, your loved ones. Okay? Okay, this is was taken in Shanghai. This is the Great China Children's Heart Foundation, and I'm very glad that I'm one of the honorable executives. Thank you. I know Malaysia also has Children's Heart Foundation too, and for the last 8 years, Great China has already raised 80 million renminbi in only 8 years. And we have successfully saved 6,000 children. And my lifestyle, my living today, every penny, every dollar, it's earned from Nu Skin. So I'm very happy through this platform, I can repay the company, I can pay back the company and the society. And it was taken in a few years ago when I was in Malawi, also one of the poorest countries in the world. Because the purpose of visiting to Malawi was to visit our Vitamil plants and also the project behind. And the whole purpose of this Vitamil project is about education. It's through education to help them to be on their own, to be independent, so that they no more need to be spoon-fed. You can see, this is the painting. I paid for about $25 US, but this was drawn by this is one of the students there, and they got talents. So through Vitamil plants, we give values to these people. They realize they also are very important. They are very useful people. And also they are, it's not a complete one, they were doing the irrigation, where they also learn farming too. Livestock, they are learning how to bake, many things. I think they are they're a very sophisticated community now, because the way back there was about 6 years ago. Okay, dancing. It's not just my hobby. I also perform in various charity, so help to raise more funds for different locations. I'm 60 years old. And I'm always invited by the company to catwalk. Is it proud? Yeah. Thanks to Nu Skin, of course. Joseph, fishing. And I know on Tuesday he's flying. Where are you going, Joe? Thailand?
To the ocean.
I know. Oh yeah. Talking about the ocean, okay. The men here, you can consider fishing as your hobby, because when you are in the water, in the ocean, your other half never can find you. How nice, okay? It happened before, many times. Where have you been? Oh, I was fishing. How come you never answered the phone? There's no signal. So that's a good excuse. Okay, there's 3 couples in this picture. Okay, me and Joseph. Is that a point? Joseph, me, and the middle one is Frank and Rowena. Frank was high school, is a classmate in high school, right?
Yeah.
And Tai Chi and Carissa, Tai Chi is in university, and they're also sharing you were roommates, right? You were roommates before. So we know they knew each other for over, I don't know, 40 years, 50 years already. And 80% of my income comes from these two couples every month. How nice you've been knowing to each other and you're working together now, you're playing together, you inspire each other. I mean, this is really different, right? When you have friends, you just maybe come out, and then, I don't know, it's not that kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's about life. It's not just about friendship. Okay, now let's see what Tai Chi's group built on this. Okay, this is Monita Low, our $1 Million Circle member too. And because of her, we have Malaysia. I think that was taken in, I think it was maybe in Penang. In Penang. So Malaysia have many, many cities. So I think 80% of the people comes from Monita Low. And I never know a person in Malaysia, okay? And because of Tai Chi, she introduced to a lady called Jana Yao, and Jana Yao is also a $10 million Circle member. She retired for 10 years, but the group keeps growing and growing, and this is Singapore. And Korea. Okay, this is Frank Young, the Joseph secondary school classmate, and this little person I want to introduce, his name is called Sandy Martinez. Remember, Andrew Fan, the manager of Hong Kong, called me that 90% of the market was captured by my group, and it's because of him, Sandy Martinez. So we named him King of New Skin Philippines, all right? And of course, he has over $20 million Circle members also in his group. And I in particular, oh, look at this. This is one of the boot camp in Manila, not to mention Cebu, Davao, the rest parts of the Philippines. So it's really, really huge group. And my biggest income today is from Philippines. Because so many people told me that, Philippines is a very poor country, underdeveloped. But I got the majority, the number one income from the Philippines. So never look upon any person, any country. He will create you the fortune. So in particular, I want to introduce this lady also in Sandy Martinez's group. Her name is Maria. 20 years ago, he was only studying the university. But while she was in her first year, her mother died, and her mother was her only support. So she was very desperate and hopeless, and then her cousin from Cebu went to her and told her about New Skin. And after that, her cousin called JP, it's very easy to remember, Joseph Philip, Joseph Philip, okay? JP left her a pack of products called 180. Okay? Because she had no money. She has no money to buy anything. So her cousin has left her with a pack of 180 products. She didn't use it, so what she did, she sold it at retail price. So there's a margin, right? She makes some money, and then she went back to buy another pack of 180, and then sold it, and again make some money, bought another one, sold it, until he had very enough of money for buying the products for herself. And then she started to do business. That was 20 years ago. And now she got married. She has one child, and also she is $1 Million Circle member. And she has designed her own dream house. Look at one of the things that from the Facebook said, "Thank you, New Skin." Every single cent, every brick is earned from New Skin. garden there is a swimming pool. There is a New Skin logo. Okay, enjoying and also at the same time doing New Skin. So think about if there's she didn't, have one step forward to take up this opportunity, what would she end up being? Working, or she didn't even she couldn't even continue his university, her university, right? Another story. Okay, this couple, they were farmers, also $1 Million Circle member. They were farmers. They used to live in a cottage, and now they also build a dream house. And you saw the New Skin logo in the swimming pool. They have the New Skin logo somewhere here, at the front door. But we're not allowed in Hong Kong. We cannot put up the logo, all right? So also, without New Skin, I don't know what they end up to. And because they have a dream. So nothing happens without a dream, okay? All right, and other couple I would like to introduce, also under Frank Young, Dan Low, and because of him, in Israel, 90% of the people, they're all youngsters. Hong Kong has already introduced about we are entering social media, right? I think these youngsters, they start playing iPad, iPhone at 1 year old. Okay, so they have no problem because they're using it. It's part of their life. I'm a baby boomer. Who is a baby boomer here? We really have to catch up, right? And because of this new era, the New Skin also incorporating new pay plan and packaging that you can share through social media, and the company will give you the money without watching. So we better learn how to use social media. I'm learning. Who will be learning? Good. Okay. So I would say before, New Skin is about patience and persistence. You have to do it face to face. But now New Skin is talking about velocity, speed. Because once you send out a photo, some sharing, right? Through social media, it's viral. So you don't have to talk face to face. You don't have to pick up, call up a person. Why don't we meet somewhere? What time? You don't need to. Everything is through social media, internet, even live. Okay? So we're entering that, and I'm sure at that time it took us 4 years to become $1 Million Circle member. I think it will be a lot faster. Okay? Thank you very much.